Hello everyone and welcome back to another new album video. We're now on week 40 and this week we're taking a look at Busyhead by Noah Kahan. First released June 14th, 2019. Some notable tracks off this album are False Confidence, Hurt Somebody, Mess, and Busyhead. I had maybe heard the name of Noah Kahan before, but I had never listened to any of his music until yesterday when I listened to this album for the first time. I really enjoyed it. And, part of this series is sometimes just going into an artist without any kind of foreknowledge of like what their music is like or like anything like that. So I just went with this album here. We have some notes here about it. We're going to get through those notes, get through the track list, and all that kind of stuff. Again, I really enjoyed the album, and I was kind of totally brand new artist, brand new album. No kind of prior knowledge of his music at all going into it. So let me get my notes here for it. So Busyhead by Noah Kahan, like we first said, first released June 14th, 2019. This is his debut studio album. And the reason I ended up picking this album to listen to was over the weekend that I think it was the South, let me see, bring it up here really quick. The Soundside Music Festival in Connecticut was going on. I didn't go to it, but there's some people that did. And I think Noah Kahan was the headlining act. Let me bring the list up here of the artist. Yeah, so Saturday to September 28th, Noah Kahan, I think, was the headliner for the first day. And then Jack White was the headlining act for the second day. Foo Fighters were supposed to be the headlining act on the second day, but ended up canceling. But going through some of the artists on that bill for that festival, he was at the top of the list for day one. So I decided to listen to this album. So again, this is his debut album. It was produced by Joe Little, who I think he's a New Zealand. Let me actually just bring it up and make sure I'm correct on that. New Zealand music producer, and Joe Little's worked with acts such as Lorde and Taylor Swift. Imagine Dragons and Ellie Goulding, just to name a few. So a fairly well-known, I would say, producer, producing some big music stars like Taylor Swift and stuff like that. There was not a lot of information about this album, so I ended up doing a little bit of like research back into just Noah Kahan's background. He was born in Vermont, and his father taught him how to play guitar, and I think his mother was a writer that wrote like parenting books. So he learned guitar from his father and learned basically writing from his mother, which is pretty good. Let's see here. He listed some inspirations for his music, including Paul Simon, Counting Crows, Yusuf Islam, or priorly known as Cat Stephen and Hosier. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that correctly. I listened to some of his music earlier in the year as well. But those are some of his just inspirations for his style of music. Let's see here. The album was released again in 2019, and he had to basically move back to Vermont at the onset of the COVID pandemic. So basically, this was released. Don't know if it had a tour because it would have been like a year later, and then everything was like in lockdown. But the album came out, and basically the next year kind of went back to Vermont at the onset of the pandemic. Hurt Somebody, one of the singles off the album, peaked at number 24 on the Billboard Hot Rock chart. So that's pretty good. The kind of genres at play here, I filed it under in my little spreadsheet for just albums I've listened to this year. I put it under folk. There's elements of like pop in there, so it's like folk pop, but also elements of some country elements and some bluegrass elements in there as well. It definitely reminded me kind of like one of his inspirations is Hosier. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but that was one of his inspirations. So it sounded similar to the stuff I've listened to from him earlier in the year. I can definitely see a little bit of like Bon Iver, like even though that's not listed in his inspirations, definitely some of that kind of at play. Just a lot of like folk kind of music. Like you said, Paul Simon is one of his inspirations, and there was some stuff in there that sounded kind of like definitely Paul Simon inspired. So I definitely filed it under like the folk category for the overall overall genre. Overall, I really enjoyed the album. It was pretty interesting and pretty good. I'm probably going to check out some more of his work as well. But now we're going to move ahead and jump into our track list on this. It's not a particularly long album, so it comes in about 35 minutes and 24 seconds. So it's like the perfect length for like usually like I'll listen to like an album on the bus going to work or just out and about taking a walk. One of the parks I walk to is about 30 minutes away from where I live, so usually go to that park. Like play this as I was walking to that park. It's a little. The walk is a little less than 30 minutes. It's like 29 minutes, like basically 30 minutes. But listened to it on the way there. Finished the album up as I was there, and then started another album. But really good length album for like just like either a commute or the walks that I usually take multiple times a day on days I don't work. Anyhow, so album is 35 minutes and 24 seconds. It's got 10 tracks on it. Track 1 is False Confidence. That one starts off really well. It's a great kind of track to start the album with. Track 2 is Mess. That's another really good one. Track 3 is Hurt Somebody, which features Julia Michaels, I should say. Julia Michaels is on that track. That's track 3. That's Hurt Somebody. Track 4 is Youngblood. Track 5 is Busyhead. So the album title there. Track 6 is Cynic. Track 7 is Save Me. Track 8 is Sync. Track 9 is Title. And then track 10 is Carlo's Song. So again, 10 tracks coming in at about 35 minutes about. And then the album cover, I really like the artwork on the cover here. It's just like, you've got it. I kind of got the vibe just from looking at the album of River of Dreams by Billy Joel. So you just have all this stuff kind of going on in his mind, above his head, of course, on the artwork for this. Kind of reminds me of the River of Dreams because with Billy Joel, you have his kind of a painting of him there, and then kind of various, I think, dreams he's having. Basically, it's Billy Joel in the middle, kind of like the way Noah Kahan is on this one, but then all the dreams are kind of just happening like in the background. So just the artwork on this kind of definitely reminded me of that cover as well. But this was a really good kind of like folk pop album. I would check it out if you're into that kind of genre. I streamed it on Apple Music, probably available on other platforms as well. But that is going to do it for this episode. We'll be back again in a week from now with a whole new album. No idea what that's going to be. Sometimes these are just basically spur of the moment picks. Sometimes I kind of plan them out. This one was more just spur of the moment. But it might be another artist from the that music festival. Might be something completely different. I have no idea. But I'm definitely going to listen to more of his work and more of the artists that were at the... keep forgetting the name of the festival, the Soundside Music Festival. So probably going to listen to more albums from those artists, more from him as well. And then, like I said, there's going to be another album next week, but again, no idea what that's going to be. Could be something from that festival, maybe something different. But we'll be back again in a week with that. So that'll do it for now. So thanks again for watching. Take care and have a good one. See ya.